Hi, my name is Wyatt Mick, and the song that I've chosen to present on is Love from the Other Side from the band Fall Out Boy. Love from the Other Side is the leading single from their album So Much for Stardust. It was their most recent album from 2023. The single came out January 11th, 2023. Honestly, I don't think there has been a month that has passed since I haven't listened to it at least 5 times. I love this song a lot, which is, we'll get into later why exactly I chose it, but some of the chart information or presentation information that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, this is from their album So Much for Stardust, which came out in 2023. The song was released on January 11th, and the whole album came out on January 18th. It's from the band Fall Out Boy, which is pretty popular punk pop band. The writers, interestingly enough, is actually all 4 members of the band. Lead singer Patrick Stump, who's also the rhythm guitarist, the lead lyricist and bass guitarist Pete Wentz, Joe Troman, the lead guitarist, and then Andy Hurley, who is their drummer, percussionist. The producer is Neil Avron. And as for chart information, they didn't really top any huge charts or anything like that. They peaked at about second, third on specific metal and alternative rock charts in the US and the UK, but they weren't hitting the Billboard top spot like your Sabrina Carpenter's or Taylor Swift's are. For internet presence, Love from the Other Side's music video got 5.6 million views on YouTube, and on Spotify there is 57.6, so about 58 million streams. I champion a few hundred of those, I know for sure. Some fun facts about the song: it was the band's return with recording label Fueled by Ramen, which they last worked with on their debut album Take This to Your Grave back in 2003. Fueled by Ramen as a production company has kind of been a launching point for a lot of pop punk rock, emo bands. Some big ones are like Jimmy Eat World, 21 Pilots, Paramore, Panic at the Disco. So The Academy Is, Cobra Starship, Gym Class Heroes. Some pretty, if you're in that scene and like that music, some pretty notable names there. This was their first time collaborating with producer Neil Avron, too, since their 4th studio album, Folie à Deux, which was kind of considered a flop back in the day when it came out. But Neil Avron is a pretty big producer in his own right. He has worked with some pretty big notable bands as well, producing their albums. Obviously Fall Out Boy, but he's also worked with 21 Pilots, Yellow Card, even bands like Weezer and Linkin Park. Love from the Other Side is the lead single from So Much for Stardust, and they performed it on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show the same day it came out. And it was, didn't win, but nominated for an MTV Music Video Award for Best Visual Effects. Fall Out Boy is known a lot for their pop punk and punk rock sounds, kind of that emo sound, but they really made a big swing into the symphonic rock category whenever they dropped this song. There's a lot of string instruments, especially in the intro, that layer on top of brass instruments and a piano medley that really create this wall of sound that are joined by the guitars and drums later on in the song. It really just brings this epicness to the song that you don't really expect whenever you first start listening to it. It's a very sweeping, grand start, and then it goes into this heavy drums and guitars. I feel like the symphonic rock aspects can be attributed to the lead singer Patrick Stump and his past in composing music and being a composer for scores across different types of media. He's no John Williams, but it's very unique how he can bring this composition and this passion for orchestra and composing these unique pieces into the classic alternative rock and pop rock sound that Fall Out Boy has spent 20 plus years curating. Fall Out Boy is my favorite band. I love them. That was a big reason why I chose this song. I knew I would choose a song by them. Hope that you've been able to hear it over me yabbering in this presentation in the background, but if you're not familiar with the song, I highly recommend you listen to it in its entirety. And if you liked that, you should listen to the rest of the album, because they have several other songs that have these big symphonic elements as well that are just very beautiful and very unique for the band, truthfully. So, thanks.